Okay? Listen, we ain't giving up Keanu. Alright? I ain't giving up Keanu Reeves, and I'm not giving up Method Man either. I'm gonna tell you what, y'all better not put Method Man in this. I will fight everybody over some Method Man. Alright? Listen, that's whew, that was supposed to be my baby daddy at one point. Alright? Remember when I told y'all about Cassie's lawsuit in November? And then I told y'all about the case about Kim Porter, which is Diddy's baby mama of 3, the twins and one of her sons. And apparently it's all more connected than what I thought, and this video really showed it. So I want y'all to watch this video because it ties all the, between Cassie and Kim, it ties it together. And I believe this was the video that I watched. So the video is called Kimora Lee, yes, Russell Simmons' ex-wife. Kimora Lee tells feds Diddy poisoned Kim Porter, Kim's case reopened. So now they're talking about reopening Kim Porter's case. The name of the channel is called The Petty Show, and they got 321K subscribers. Let me go and subscribe. And this is the video. I believe this is the video. If it's not, I'll have to go on my, I'll know about halfway through.
You know, just because I'm a mom, I try to, you know, look the other way for things and turn the other cheek. And I don't know, I sometimes feel like, some of those things come back.
That the night before Kim Porter passed, that she group text some close friends saying that he got me. And that Kim also insinuated in that text that she felt like she had been poisoned.
Do you believe Diddy had something to do with Kim Porter's death?
Absolutely.
So the night before she passed, she did a group text. Kim Porter did a group text saying she got me. Or he got me. She literally told everybody he got me.
Without hesitation. Absolutely.
So it looks like there's a major new development surrounding the mysterious death of Diddy's ex, Kim Porter. And according to the latest reports, Kim's longtime friend, Kimora Lee Simmons, is cooperating with the authorities and sharing some never-before-heard details about Kim's last days. Now that Diddy is officially under criminal investigation, all sorts of new claims are popping up, and the feds are reportedly curious about those rumors suggesting that Diddy might have given Kim Porter some pills before she died. Rumors have been buzzing for ages that Diddy might have had something to do with Kim's untimely demise because she was allegedly planning to spill everything in a tell-all book. And then industry insiders like Jaguar Wright have directly accused Diddy of poisoning Kim and claimed he gave her some stuff that triggered pneumonia-like symptoms. On top of that, new reports suggest that Kim witnessed some extremely disturbing and illegal activities at Diddy's parties, and
she was with him for almost 15 years. I think a total of 13 years she was with him. So she knew all of Diddy's dirt. She knew all of Diddy's dirt.
She apparently gave both Kimora and Cassie evidence of what she witnessed. So now that Kimora is allegedly talking to the feds, could this open up a whole can of worms about Kim Porter's death? Let's break it down.
You know, I've tried to go to lawyers and get help. I've tried to show all the crazy texts I've had to block, like.
For years now, rumors about Diddy allegedly being involved in his ex Kim Porter's death have been swirling on the internet, with fans and industry insiders connecting dots and uncovering clues that suggest Kim's passing wasn't just down to pneumonia, as the official story claimed.
Okay, and that's the thing, too. She died of pneumonia, but yet she had the flu. Like, what?
These rumors reached a boiling point after Cassie filed her explosive lawsuit against Diddy last November, and one of Cassie's old selfies popped back up, showing her with a busted lip and some head trauma. Back in 2014, Cassie posted this snap during a trip to Dubai with Diddy, and back then, the story was that she had a little accident while riding an ATV. However, the injuries in the photo don't quite match up with this story, and they look more like what Cassie describes in her lawsuit. And here's where it gets eerie. A whole bunch of people are now drawing parallels between Cassie's situation and what went down with Kim Porter, Diddy's ex, who passed away in 2018 under some pretty mysterious circumstances. In fact, the feds are now allegedly looking into this case and talking to Kim's friends to see if Kim went through the same thing as Cassie before she tragically died.
Now, if the feds are looking into Kim Porter's case, then the rumors may actually be true that Cassie is working with the feds, which means the feds looked at Cassie's case too that she drew up for Diddy back in November. Because remember, Diddy settled that lawsuit within 24 hours of Cassie dropping it. He settled it quick. The ink wasn't even dry on the paper yet, and he settled it. So the feds, I think the feds took Cassie's lawsuit. I think the feds took Rodney's lawsuit in February, and now they're looking into Kim, what happened to Kim Porter, because you got to remember, they've been looking at Diddy for 10 years. 10 years they've been looking at Diddy. Well, rumor is Cassie has some stuff of Kim's. So, what?
To give you some context, Diddy and Kim had an on-again, off-again relationship going on for 13 years, from 1994 all the way to 2007, the same year Diddy started dating Cassie. According to multiple eyewitnesses, Diddy put Kim through hell, and she tried to leave him many times. And during one of their breaks, Kim started seeing Shakir Stewart, a music executive who worked at Def Jam. Now, word on the street is that Diddy totally lost it when he found out about Kim and Shakir getting cozy. Apparently, things got so heated between them that it turned into a full-blown argument, and Kim ended up with a broken nose. Most of the reports about this incident have been scrubbed from the internet. However, there is one article published in 2005 that references the altercation, saying that Kim was left with a broken nose after the couple argued on Combs' yacht in Saint-Tropez. The article states that Combs flew in a specialist plastic surgeon from Geneva after the accident, and that
Why is he flying in a surgeon from Geneva? You want to fix that real quick though, right?
Porter has since claimed that she hurt her face after she banged her nose on a table. But here's where this story takes an even more sinister turn. On November 1st, 2008, Shakir Stewart was found dead at his home in Atlanta with a gunshot wound, and the official ruling was that it was self-inflicted. However, almost immediately, rumors started flying that foul play might be involved, and people started pointing fingers at Diddy. One source even spilled the beans to Media Takeout, claiming that Diddy had previously paid Shakir a visit and roughed him up real bad. The source said Kim was seeing Shakir and Diddy found out, and he went ape. He tracked Shakir down to his hotel. Then Diddy went up there without security and beat him to a bloody...
You remember what he did with Cassie? When Cassie was dating, oh my God, I forgot his name. Kid Cudi. When Cassie was talking to Kid Cudi, what he did with Kid Cudi? Blew up his car. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. He blew up Kid Cudi's car just for talking to Cassie when him and Cassie broke up. He's got a past, y'all. Diddy got a past. I'm telling you.
As for Kim and Diddy, their toxic relationship went on for years, and Kim struggled to completely cut ties with Diddy because of their 3 children, son Christian, and twin daughters Jessie and Delilah. Besides that, multiple insiders have confirmed that Diddy kept a tight grip on Kim's life even after they broke up. He allegedly had her followed everywhere and banned her from seeing other men. Diddy was putting on a show of being the perfect partner in public, but behind closed doors, it was a whole different story. And
well, that's how, I'm going to tell you now, that's how abusers are. Abusers sometimes, like I know mine was, they can be outwardly and in public the nicest people you ever met. To the point where I would literally look at him and go, why can't you be like this at home? And think to myself, I wouldn't say it out loud because I would pay for it later. But I would literally look at him and go, like, why can't you be like this at home? Because they put on an act when they're in front of other people. That's exactly how they work. Not saying all nice people are abusers. I'm just saying abusers know how to cut that off, or cut it on in front of people. You know.
Diddy was putting on a show of being the perfect partner in public, but behind closed doors, it was a whole different story. And according to Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, Diddy was cheating on Kim the whole time, with both women and men.
He was with every chick, every dude, whoever he wanted to be with, you know, when Kim was alive.
And according to Gene, Diddy wasn't just emotionally messing with Kim. He was also getting physical, and she was forced to defend herself.
There's an incident that him and Kim had when she took the corkscrew, when they were fighting, you know, and ripped his whole wrist up. That's what helped, that's how Puff got on drugs. You understand? Those painkillers. Because Kim wasn't taking it from him.
Gene also said that Diddy has been...
From what Gene's saying, Kim fought back, and because of one of those, that's how she came after him with a corkscrew. Oh, and that's how he got hooked up on pills.
Pulling the wool over everyone's eyes with those heartfelt tributes to Kim. And when the interviewer suggested that Diddy might regret how he treated Kim, Gene wasn't buying it. He hinted that Diddy was probably relieved when Kim passed because she knew all of his deepest, darkest secrets, and she was allegedly planning to spill everything in her book.
You know, being in a full committed relationship with her, it seems like he got a lot of regret when it comes to Kim Porter now. That's what it seems to me. He's living with a lot of regret.
Bro, come on, stop the bullshit, man. He got you fooled too, huh? You understand? Kim know all his deepest secrets.
Yep.
You understand? Kim knew why he was using the plug. Man, Kim probably told all that book. You understand? That up and got missing the day she died. You understand what I'm saying?
Funny how a lot of stuff got missing the day she died. There were a lot of things that went missing. A lot of things that went missing.
He was with every chick, every dude, whoever he wanted to be with, you know, when Kim was alive, praying with them, doing whatever he had to do to be with them.
Anyway, while Kim was pregnant with Christian, Diddy started getting cozy with none other than Jennifer Lopez. And when Kim found out, she broke things off with Diddy and moved out of his house. However, the drama didn't end there. See, after J-Lo made a run for it following that 1991 nightclub shooting incident, Diddy found himself crawling back to Kim. Unfortunately, Kim took him back, and in 2006, they welcomed their twin daughters. But even with twins in the picture, Diddy didn't clean up his act, and he kept on mistreating Kim, laying his hands on her, having her followed around. And according to former Bad Boy artist Mark Curry, Diddy even had Kim's house wiretapped.
Because you knew Kim Porter. Is it true that Diddy broke her nose?
Bust the nose, man.
See, everybody knew this. Everybody knew this about him. Everybody knew this about him. Everybody. But nobody's going to go and snitch. So really, what I think is really jumped off this whole thing was Cassie's lawsuit in November. Cassie's lawsuit was out long enough, because you can still pull it up today. I still have a copy of it. Cassie's lawsuit had some horrific shit in it. And I think the feds looked at that and was like, oh. And then when Rodney's lawsuit came out in February, they were like, oh, and it comes with hundreds of hours of video? Oh.
You know, but it was all, you know, insecurities. Anytime a man would go out his way to wiretap someone's phone or put taps in their homes just to monitor their conversation, that's a sign of insanity.
While all this was going on, Diddy was playing the field behind Kim's back, and the ultimate betrayal came when Kim found out that Diddy had been hiding a secret child with his longtime associate, Sarah Chapman. In fact, Sarah gave birth to Diddy's daughter, Chance, in July 2006, just months before Kim welcomed twin daughters with Diddy. For Kim, that was the last straw, on top of all the other horrific things she witnessed and experienced while being around Diddy. Kim finally called it quits with Diddy for good in 2007, and that's when she allegedly confided in her closest friends, including Kimora Lee, that she had started writing a tell-all book about her life with Diddy. But then, less than a year later, a tragedy struck when Kim's life was cut short at age 47.
She made the mistake to tell people she was working on it. I think, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, don't come for me because I don't own anything, okay? I think she made the mistake of telling people she was writing that book. I think that's how it got out.
November 15th, 2018, Kim was found dead at her home with the official cause of death listed as complications from pneumonia.
A shocked and devastated Diddy spotted at the home where his ex suddenly and mysteriously died. Her good friend Kimora Lee Simmons appearing inconsolable at the house. 47-year-old Porter's body found after a desperate call to 911.
Naturally, alarm bells started ringing because Kim led a healthy lifestyle, and her friends and family claimed she seemed completely fine just days before her sudden passing. One of them was none other than Kim's ex-husband and father of her first son, Quincy, Al B. Shore. Kim dated Al before she met Diddy, and rumor has it that Diddy hatched a plan to drive a wedge between Al and Quincy. So according to Al, he saw Kim not long before she passed away, and he said she didn't mention a single thing about any health issues.
Al was really upset, and he's been really upset about it since she died. Al B. Shore has been very upset about it since she died. And then when he almost died, oh yeah, nah, he's angry. He's real angry.
But here's where things take a serious turn. For a couple of years, Al wrestled with this nagging feeling that maybe Kim's death wasn't as natural as it seemed. It was eating away at him, and eventually, he couldn't keep quiet about it any longer. In July 2020, Al shared a since-deleted video of himself from the day he found out that Kim died, and he called her death murder. Al wrote, "I just found this footage from the morning. I learned of Kim Porter's murder and how it ripped the soul from my physical body. I do know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. That's some BS. Really? This is where I get in trouble. We just celebrated our son Quincy's new deal and Christmas special with Netflix, and she was in fantastic health as well, laughing seeing me and Diddy's mutual exchange at the theater. I'm going to leave it here." Al also added the hashtag "Don't Let the Love Songs Fool You," seemingly referencing Diddy's tributes to Kim. Producer Easy Mo B.
I mean, just saying.
Don't let the love songs fool you, seemingly referencing Diddy's tributes to Kim. Producer Easy Mo B, who previously worked with Diddy, commented on Al's post, writing, "God bless your soul, Al B, the all-knowing, all-seeing might God is at work. What's done in the dark will come to light." And then Al replied, "We good sir, and we'll get through this as well. If not, we know who and why." But Al didn't stop there. In November 2021, he posted this photo with Kim and Quincy and claimed that he told Kim to contact the FBI before she died. Al wrote, "She sent me this saying, life imitating art, art imitates life. Now it all makes sense. She told me other stuff too. She was running. I said, call the FBI." And then in the comments, Al added, "You would never believe what she went through." Now the fact.
And that was Al's way of letting Diddy know. This was Al's way of letting Diddy know, I know what you did. I know what you did. I ain't snitching, but I know what you did. Well, then guess what happened to Al B. Sure?
The fact that Al told Kim to call the FBI means that whatever Kim confided in him must have been extremely serious. He didn't tell her to call the police or get help. He specifically said, call the FBI. But believe it or not, it gets even crazier from here. Just months after Al B shared this post, he suffered a sudden medical emergency while working in his studio. He was rushed to the hospital, and according to Al, the doctors were completely confused because he had so many things wrong with him at the same time that they couldn't figure out what caused it. Al later shared that he had accumulated excessive fluid in his lungs, fungal pneumonia, became septic, had lymph nodes removed, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And
wow. He had pneumonia too. Oh man. Oh man. Gee. Huh. He had so much wrong, they didn't know what was wrong with him. He had so much wrong with him, they didn't know what was wrong with him.
Apparently, it all happened suddenly with no prior warnings. Al spent 2 whole months in a coma and had to undergo different medical procedures while doctors fought for his life, including an organ transplant, multiple blood transfusions, intubation, and being placed on a ventilator. Thankfully, he made it out alive, but talk about a close call.
I cannot believe he made that out alive. I can't believe he made it. I'm going to be honest. We literally thought Al B. Sure was gone. It is amazing that he got out of that alive. Oh, FYI, Al B. Sure is the only original startup person of Uptown Records besides Diddy. The rest of them are dead. Al B. and Diddy are the only 2 left. Everybody else is gone. Kim Porter, gone. Heavy D, gone. And I think there's another person that's gone. The only 2 left from the originals of Uptown Records is Al B. Sure and Diddy.
And even though he's out of the coma, Al is still grappling with the consequences of whatever mysterious condition landed him in the hospital. So of course, it didn't take long before people started wondering if it was really a coincidence that Al developed this medical emergency shortly after he publicly claimed Kim Porter was murdered and mentioned the FBI. And this is when Jaguar Wright, one of Al B's longtime friends, joined the chat and dropped a bombshell, claiming that Kim Porter's first autopsy revealed traces of poisoning.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
Jaguar also pointed out that all these people who were connected to Diddy and then mysteriously passed away or fell ill were planning to spill the beans in tell-all books and documentaries.
Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before
she died.
And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma.
Oh, and you know what? Every single one of those people were from Uptown Records. Every single one of those people were the people who started Uptown Records with Diddy.
Jaguar recently spoke out again and threw support behind Cassie, while also making some bold claims about Kim Porter's death. So according to Jaguar, Kim tried to give Cassie a heads up about Diddy shortly before she passed away.
I will advocate for you. Because see, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us. And I know Kim had some very good advice to give you. And I believe that this is why things are happening as they're happening now. Kim was smart, wasn't she, Cassie? Kept you alive and kept you safe. I will advocate for you. I went to honeycomb. But you are a victim. And I know that. Congratulations on surviving and congratulations on standing up.
Now the timeline is...
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm worried for Cassie in this situation. I really am. I'm worried for Cassie in this situation because I don't know. She might be in danger, all right? But supposedly, word on the street is she's working with the feds. Word also on the street is that I think it's her or Kimora, which Kimora is supposedly working with the feds too. One of them has the phone of Kim Porter, or a phone of Kim Porter. And I don't know what's on that phone, obviously, because I'm not there, you know. But apparently one of them has the phone to give to the feds. So, yeah. It's about to get real nasty. It's about to get really, really nasty.
And congratulations on standing up.
Now, the timeline is definitely intriguing because Kim died just a few weeks after Cassie and Diddy called it quits back in October 2018. So it makes you wonder if Kim shared something with Cassie during their last chat that pushed Cassie to finally break things off with Diddy. But wait, there's more to chew on.
Kim talked to her 2 weeks before Cassie broke up with Diddy? So Kim and Cassie had a conversation before Cassie broke it off with Diddy. And then Kim ends up dead.
Kim died just a few weeks after Cassie and Diddy called it quits back in October 2018. So it makes you wonder if Kim shared something with Cassie during their last chat that pushed Cassie to finally break things off with Diddy. But wait, there's more to chew on. Cassie dropped her lawsuit on November 16th, and guess what? Kim passed away on November 15th. It's like Cassie was making a statement with the timing, almost.
I mean, yeah. And you know what's funny? It got settled on the 16th. It got settled the next day within 24 hours.
Just as if she was sending a message about that conversation she had with Kim. What's also crazy is the same day Diddy settled the lawsuit with Cassie, Kim Porter's Wikipedia page temporarily disappeared. So, another coincidence? Anyway, after Cassie's lawsuit dropped, more info surfaced about the parallels between Cassie and Kim's experiences with Diddy. In a recent interview with The Art of Dialogue, Gene Deal said that Cassie's story is exactly the same as Kim's story.
It was the same thing Kim was going through. The same thing, bro. Kim was going through the same thing. The beatings, you know what I'm saying?
Gene also touched on that incident about Diddy breaking Kim's nose and flying in a surgeon to patch it up. He drew parallels to Cassie's claims that Diddy would get physical and then whisk her off to Hawaii or some other remote locations until the evidence on her face healed up.
Yeah. He would, from what the lawsuit said, yeah, he would get physical and then whisk them away to a remote location. That way, when they came back, they looked just as good as when the last time everybody saw them. You know? Gotta hide the evidence. You know? Gotta hide the evidence.
Kim book. Then you hear about the fact that he broke Kim's nose on a yacht?
Wow, I ain't hear about that.
He broke Kim, let's say allegedly, but it was told by people in her camp that he broke Kim's nose on a yacht. So Cassie's story is Kim's story.
Now, before we move on to Kimora Lee's role in all this, let's talk about Kim Porter's book. What exactly was Kim planning to reveal that allegedly sent Diddy into panic mode? It had to be something more than Diddy's cheating ways and stories about him putting his hands on women. Everyone already knew that, so whatever Kim was planning to spill in her book must have been something even more damaging to Diddy. Keep in mind that spent over 13 years in Diddy's proximity, so she must have seen and heard a lot. So word on the street is that one of the things Kim wanted to talk about in her book was Diddy's alleged involvement in the murders of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls.
I bet you somebody has got to have that book, or at least what she had partially wrote. Somebody's got to have it, and I don't know who it is, and I wish they would just bring it out. Let's just end it. Let's just end all this and just start clean. Start clean. Let's get all the facts out there. Boom. We know who did it. We know who paid for it. Everything. And let's just start clean. Because it has been too long not to know who killed these two. And why? It's been too long.
Gene Deal previously spilled that Kim had a soft spot for Tupac, and Diddy would apparently blow a fuse whenever she'd mention Pac in front of him.
Maybe Kim liked him, Pac, more than he liked Puff, but she couldn't have Pac. And Pac didn't have the money that Puff had.
But that's not all. Kim also shared a bunch of posts related to Tupac on her Instagram before she passed away. And check this out. Back in 2015, Kim and Diddy attended the LA Film Festival with their sons, and Kim wore a Tupac t-shirt. Now the fact that Kim...
That is grade A shade right there. That is grade A shade right there. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. She didn't care.
Kim decided to wear this t-shirt and stand right next to Diddy on the red carpet. It's like she was sending a message without saying a word. And now enter Kimora Lee, Kim's longtime friend and confidant, who was one of the first people at the scene of Kim's death. First of all, it's worth pointing out that Kimora was married to Diddy's friend and accused offender Russell Simmons, who moved to Bali, Indonesia, after multiple women came forward with disturbing allegations about him. And a few...
Okay, let me tell you something about the whole Russell Simmons thing. Talking about ruining a childhood, all right? I know that the millennials are having a fit about the Nickelodeon stuff and stuff like that. I get it. I do get how y'all are getting traumatized over this. I understand where people are getting like traumatized and it's like, oh my God, they're ruining my childhood. How do you think I feel about Russell Simmons and hearing about Russell Simmons? That's my childhood. You know? That is 100% my childhood right there. It's like, damn. Bro, did anybody I like back then? Are any of them good?
A few years back, Gene Deal spilled the beans that he tried to pitch a book about Diddy, Russell, and a bunch of other shady characters in the industry. But get this, Gene said he was shut down and told he could only go after Russell, but Diddy was off limits.
They told me they couldn't go after Puff, but they could go after Russell Simmons. Those people knew that Russell Simmons was on the chopping block and something was going on.
Anyway, after Cassie's lawsuit dropped, Kimora shared this post saying, "As you sow, so shall you reap." And get this, just 2 weeks later, news broke that Kimora's house caught fire while she and her kids were there. Meanwhile, an old interview with Kimora for the New York...
Well, damn. Funny how people make posts and within a month, something happens to them. Isn't it amazing? You talk bad on Diddy or you're writing a book and something just happens to you. It happens all the time, my God. It's amazing what happens to people who are around Diddy.
Magazine resurfaced, where she revealed that Diddy threatened her with physical harm while she was pregnant. This happened a few years before Kim Porter's death, and in that same interview, Kimora said that Diddy was trying to copy her then husband Russell in everything he did. The article states, "There was a nasty cloudburst when Kimora said something to Combs and he threatened to hit her." And then Kimora added, "And I was pregnant, the moron." The article also mentions that Diddy got down on his knees in public to apologize, and Kimora said, "I appreciate knowing that everything he does is emulating my husband." Now here's the latest info on Kimora. She's been completely MIA from social media since Homeland Security raided Diddy's houses, and word on the street is that she's in hiding. This is because Kimora is now allegedly cooperating with the feds to help them figure out what happened to Kim Porter in her last days.
Oh, God, man. Oh, I hope everybody stays safe. I hope everybody stays safe because this is going to get so nasty. This is going to get so nasty. And another lawsuit dropped, too, against Diddy's son. Against one of Diddy's sons. And I still need to get a hold of that lawsuit. And we can go over it once I get my hands on it. But, yeah. Yeah, I hope everybody stays safe. I want Cassie, especially Cassie. Cassie went through so much. I'm sorry. I understand people are like, you know, just because a woman say it, don't believe all women or whatever. All right, I get that, all right? But with the detail that was in that lawsuit and just the stories itself, it was heartbreaking to read. Like, I could not read that lawsuit without bawling. It was so bad. It was horrifically bad. And then you start having people come out and tell their stories, and it's like, I don't think she's bullshitting. And then, within 24 hours, that lawsuit got settled. If it was all lies, they'd let it go to court, right? They'd let it go to court if it was all lies and you could prove it to be lies, right? I'm sorry. I believe Cassie. I do. I do believe Cassie.
Has it that Kim might have shared some parts of her tell-all book with Kimora, and some sources are even saying that Kimora rushed to the scene of Kim's death because she knew Diddy would try to get there first to delete messages from Kim's phone. Media Takeout recently reported that multiple people are now cooperating with the authorities on the criminal investigation against Diddy, and allegedly Kimora is one of them. One officer with the Department of Homeland Security also told the Post that those raids weren't random and that the authorities have been investigating Diddy for a long time. We are
10 years. They've been looking into Diddy for 10 years, for a decade. They've been looking into him for a decade. So that right there tells you somebody already dropped a dime on him a long time ago. Somebody already dropped that dime.
The Post that those raids weren't random and that the authorities have been investigating Diddy for a long time. We are responding to concrete, detailed, explicit allegations. This is not random, the officer said. We didn't choose his name out of a hat. We had allegations that we're following up on. We became aware of certain allegations during the course of the civil suits against Mr. Combs.
Ooh, there you go. There you go. That's Cassie and Rodney. That's Cassie and Rodney right there. Because those were civil suits. They were federal civil suits. Cassie and Rodney.
You have to understand that we didn't just decide on a whim to search his homes. A federal judge had to sign off.
Yep.
This isn't a witch hunt, so it remains.
And in order for a federal judge to sign off, they had to show that judge something. They had to show that judge something to make it like, this is the reason why we need to go to his homes. So they had to have shown the judge something substantial enough for the judge to go, okay, go to the house, go to the homes, go to the mansions, go for it. They had to have shown the judge something for them to sign off on it. Because the judge isn't just going to sign off on something like that and just go, okay, no, you have to show them something for them to go do it.
And that we didn't just decide on a whim to search his homes. A federal judge had to sign off. This isn't a witch hunt, so it remains to be seen if this investigation will shine more light on Kim Porter's tragic passing, and fans are hoping Kimora can provide more details on this so that Kim can finally get the justice she deserves. One fan wrote, "People on here have said it for years. The only thing I ever heard was Kimora Lee Simmons made a video swearing he killed Kim Porter to cover up his trafficking. Her cause of death is listed as pneumonia cardiac arrest. Odd. I don't know, but something is definitely wrong." And another person added, "Kimora Lee Simmons is the one person who can take Diddy down. I wonder what's going to happen to her next." But let's hear your thoughts on Kim Porter's death.
I don't think it's Kimora. Well, maybe for Kim's death, Kimora might be able to, but I think that's more Cassie's wheelhouse, honestly. Because if you think about it, Cassie was there during the freak-off. Cassie was with Diddy long enough to know that what Kim went through. Because she talked to Kim. Kim probably told her, "Baby girl, I know what you're going through." Honestly. Kim probably told her, "I know what you're going through. I've been there, done that." It's sad. I hope Cassie is safe. I'm going to be honest. I hope Cassie is safe. I hope something is protecting her. Because I have a feeling, and I don't know, and look, I'm not psychic or anything like that, but I have a feeling this is going to get nasty, and I think people are going to get hurt before this is over. I just have that feeling in my gut. Somebody's going to get hurt over this, and I don't know who, but I feel like somebody's going to get hurt. So I don't know. I just hope everybody stays safe, and I hope that whatever justice needs to come out, it comes out.